Suck on that, Henry. Troll-ass mother humper.
You know you have a pretty good chance of repeating a Super Bowl when you got guys like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith who already are getting back to work. Dallas still stinks. You might do it. Champ is here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. You know, I'm sorry. I just fell asleep watching Mark Holmes get on camera and actually have the balls to try to stick up for Dak Prescott and his pathetic shot at the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday. Now, we're going to get into all of it and then some, but before we do that, we got a lot to talk about today. First thing, Eagles, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts. They went on Fallon's show yesterday, along with a lot of the offensive line guys. They were out there having a good time. I usually don't watch any of these nighttime shows, but they were out there. I did watch that segment. I thought it was pretty cool. And, you know, the thing I got out of it was, this is a great team, very well connected, and they're hungry. They're ready to go back and win it again. Here's a little bit of what they said.
All I could think about was all the hard work. All I could think about was all the effort, and to see my reflection on the chrome trophy in that mirror.
That's pretty cool. I didn't even think about that.
It was a pretty good feeling.
Let me tell you guys something right here, right now. This team is ready to repeat. They're ready to go back. And that's because you've got guys like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts. You got all those guys on defense, offensive line. These guys are already going back to work. They celebrated a few days and they're like, yeah, okay, this was great, but you know what? We like the work that we put in. We like the challenge of it. We're hungry. We're going to get back to it. So get this, right? Get this. You have A.J. Brown. He goes on, he posts on his Instagram this. Mark Holmes is calling me. He's calling the champ. The champ can't answer right now, buddy. The champ can't answer right now. The champ is making a video. But I'm going to call you out in your video. Then I'm going to call you back, and I'm going to double moonwalk that ass. All right? But here's what A.J. Brown said. He said this. After a few days, I've had time to reflect on being a champion. I tried to feel like how everyone made it seem to be a champion. And unfortunately, it was short-lived. 2 days to be exact. I've never been a champion at the highest level before. But I thought my hard work would be justified by winning it all. It wasn't. My thrill for this game comes when I dominate. It's the hunt that it does for me. It's when the DBs drop the head and surrender because he can't F with me. The intense battles, early mornings, late night sacrifices. I love putting smile on people's faces. Don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't what I thought it would be. It's the journey that I love most. Back to work. And that was followed up with Devontae Smith liking it. And then posting this. We back at it tomorrow. This is how you know you got guys that are built for this. All right, they're built for this. I'm built for this. And yeah, we all going to be working at a repeat. A repeat. The Eagles are primed for one. And I mean that in all honesty. This is a team that is well built with a lot of young players, and I think you're starting to see on ESPN and some of these media places, they're looking at this roster now going, damn, this team's really young. They're young, they're good, and it's going to be interesting to see what we have cap-wise. I think Mark's telling everybody we have $3.7 million in cap space. We really have anywhere from 13.8 to about $18 million. If you go, it really depends like what site you go to. They all have something slightly different. Like for instance, over the cap here has the Eagles at $17.9 million in cap space. So I believe that's somewhere we're around. Now, the salary cap will probably go up some. Howie will make some moves. The one thing I don't worry about is the salary cap, okay? But this team doesn't need a whole lot. They really don't. To me, they need to go get Zach Bond, sign him, get him signed, get him taken care of. Then, after you get him signed, I think you got to do something with the edge rushers. Although, I will tell you this. When you go back and watch that Super Bowl, and you look at the way Jalen Hunt played, dude, maybe the best bet is just to draft an edge rusher and not even worry about trying to get a Garrett or somebody like that and let those young guys play. I mean, we had such success with letting those young guys play in Cooper DeJean, in Quinyon Mitchell. I mean, Jalen Hunt was awesome in the Super Bowl. He was awesome. You may not need that Myles Garrett type guy or something like that. I'm not saying don't do it or you shouldn't try, because of course you want to rotate guys in. And I think that a big part of repeating, and one of the lessons that the Eagles learned in 2017 was, when you win, you get a lot of guys that become very content with winning. They're not built like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts. They get content with winning. They become fat cats. You saw the Chiefs. They were a bunch of fat cats in that game. Look at Kelsey and some of his effort in that Super Bowl. But the truth of the matter is, you've got to have some sort of turnover. You've got to bring in guys who weren't there on the Super Bowl team that come in hungry. So they're going to have to figure it out. But I think the key to the offseason, I think you got to try to get Zach Bond back. And maybe you don't. Maybe he tests the market and he gets so much money. Or maybe even this. Maybe the Eagles look at it like this, and I don't fully know. Maybe they look at it and say, Vic Fangio put him in perfect position. We think Jeremiah Trotter could do the same thing. Well, we're gonna let Trotter start, and we're gonna go on from there. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I know that this team is built for this, okay? And while this team is already talking, you're getting guys like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, ready to go back to work. You got Dallas Cowboys players. One, Dak Prescott, one of the biggest chokers in the history of the NFL. You got him crying the blues about the Eagles, right? He actually had the guts to actually act like, to bring up regular season stuff. He's like, oh, listen to what he says here.
I mean, I feel like we compete with the Eagles and beat them for the most part when we played them. I don't want to say check the record when they're the guys holding the trophy right now. So credit to them. They've earned it and they deserved it by all means. But, yeah, very close, especially even watch the NFC game, the NFC Championship. And those two teams that we battle against each and every year a couple of times. And as I said, feel confident about we've gotten the better part each and every time. To see it in such a dominating fashion, credit to them.
The Cowboys are very close. And he says, I don't want to bring up regular season records. Oh, but you just did when you said that, okay? And it was great to see. I don't know why Skip Bayless. I'm starting to become a fan. I'm starting to like the guy. What can I say? Starting to like him. I'm starting to like Skip Bayless. Never liked him his whole career, but I'm starting to like him now. Because this is what he said to Dak and fire back about Dak's idiotic comments. Oh, and by the way, the champ went on and watched Mark Holmes' video. And when the champ was watching Mark Holmes' video, I watched Mark try to protect Dak Prescott, try to make excuses for him. He played a 6-minute clip and kept pausing it to tell you all the great work that Dak Prescott is doing for cancer research, this, that, and the other. Nobody ever said Dak Prescott was a bad guy. Everybody knows he's a good guy. He's just a choke of a quarterback, okay? But he has to go on there and try to make you have all these emotional feelings about him being a nice guy, so you don't really look at the truth about him being a quarterback, all right? And at least Skip Bayless called him out, and Mark Holmes can't take it. The champ knows Mark Holmes' game plan. You notice how Mark Holmes goes on, and the champ watches him on video talk about how bad Jerry Jones is, this, Jerry Jones that, and then the champ watches Mark Holmes at the same time talk about, oh, this might be a good move. Oh, getting Schottenheimer might be a good move. Oh, this might be it. Jerry Jones might have learned his lesson. The champ ain't fooled by Mark Holmes. All right, I ain't. But, you know, listen to a little bit of what Skip Bayless had to say.
As a lifelong diehard Dallas Cowboy fan, I am ashamed of what my quarterback Dak Prescott said about the world champion Philadelphia Eagles today. As a Cowboy fan, I am horrified by what Dak Prescott said about the Eagles today. Dak, how can you have the delusional audacity to say what you said today about the Eagles? How can you have the just false bravado to say, yeah, we're going to beat them because we've been beating them?
Skip Bayless is 100,000% right. He's 1,000% right. Okay? It is true. It is true. Dak shouldn't be talking at all. That Dallas team isn't even close to this Eagles team. And Dak, I mean, he has not even ever sniffed an NFC Championship game, okay? No, Jalen Hurts is clearly the better quarterback, and it's not even close anymore. It's not even a debate. But, you know, they want to talk about records, you know, going back to what, 2016? Come on. This team is different. This team is built different. And the Cowboys got no chance against them. None at all. But let the delusion be what it is. This is going to be a very, very interesting offseason. The Eagles, they're going to do their due diligence right now with getting an offensive coordinator. And I think the two biggest priorities for me, in my opinion, are get the offensive coordinator and keep your coaches that you can keep. Then secondly, I think you got to try to get something with Zach Bond done. Now there's talk and people have said that he's going to test the market. If he does, the Eagles might lose him. That may be, you know, that's the one thing I'm worried about. I feel like Zach Bond, you want to bring him back. Because if you bring Zach Bond back, I think that even if you did lose Milton Williams, which I don't want to, but if you did, you know, and you probably or likely will, you can survive that. But Zach Bond, man, he's a starter, a big foundational piece, and Nakobe Dean is coming back from injury. So he may not be ready to go early in the year. That means you would have to have two new linebackers from a year ago. I don't want to do that with the linebackers anymore. All right. I would also try to bring in Oren Burks back. I think Oren Burks played really, really well in the playoffs. I think he deserves to come back and play. You probably could get him fairly cheap. And if I'm the Eagles, that is something that I would do. So we'll see. We'll figure out how it goes. But with that said, the champs are here. And, yeah, the parade, I believe, is Friday. I can't go to the parade, obviously. But I will be streaming it. I took time off to be streaming it live. So we will be watching it. And you're welcome, if you can't go, to come hang out with me. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. And of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. So congratulations to Nick Sirianni, my cannoli eating coach, once again. He has been inducted into the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame. I guess his whole family's in it. His brother, his two older brothers, his father. So it's a big deal. His family, I guess, where he's from. But he's in the Hall of Fame there. He's going to be inducted, I believe, on Monday. So congratulations to Coach Nick Sirianni, who, by the way, is about to get a major contract extension with the Eagles. Deservedly so. The guy has shut up everybody, including myself. Denzel Washington, out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.